Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Haida Fadilah from Group 18 and this is our presentation on women empowerment with the title Uncovering Unfair Treatment Amidst Gender Inequality in the Workplace in Malaysia.
Now, I am Raisha, will be presenting the abstracts. So for the small introduction, this research study explores the complex matter of various difficulties that Malaysian women encounter in the workplace, with an emphasis on exposing instances of unfair treatment that are spotted by gender inequality. So one of the problems that is encountered by the women employees is that they are in the low paying jobs while men employees receive higher position with higher salary that can be found in the industrial sector. This study employs research design and library research approaches in which, in research design, a survey form is produced which includes demographic factors and effects regarding the issue of gender inequality in workplace, as well as opinions of the respondents towards the current policies that related to employment. Journal articles, news and websites are the main resources that are used in library research method to provide insights from other researchers as well. This article aims to increase awareness, spark discussion, and add to the ongoing global conversation on realizing women's empowerment. Next, I'm going to pass to the next presenter.
Hello, my name is Norai Natasha and I will be presenting the introduction of this report. Women's empowerment has become a popular topic worldwide in the 21st century, with modern women desiring equal opportunities with men and actively competing in various domains. However, women frequently encounter unfair treatment, lesser income, and limited career progression prospects. Diversity and inclusion have emerged as fundamental foundations of organizational success, with the recognition that diverse perspectives enhance decision-making processes and drive superior financial performance. Significant progress has been made in narrowing the gender gap across several businesses and areas, but women advancement in the business world continues to be constrained, including structural ones and systematic prejudice and stereotypes. Gender equity is a matter of social justice and human rights, and many advocate for fairness and equal treatment of individuals regardless of their gender. The participation of women in managerial positions can provide different skills and perspectives, leading to the better solutions for organizations.
I'm going to present the literature review for our report. As stated by Equal Pay for Work of Equal Value, globally, women only earn 77 cents for every dollar earned by men, leading to a lifelong disparity in income and an increased risk of women retiring in poverty. This proved that gender pay gap, which indicates the disparity in pay, wages, or income between women and men, is happening worldwide. Next, according to the Salaries and Wages Survey Report 2016, employed Malaysian women receive approximately 97.9% of monthly earning compared to their male counterparts. So the statistics suggest that unlike in developed nations such as US and the UK, Malaysia has minimal overall gender pay gap, standing at 2.1%. Next, Malaysia exhibit a low proportion of women occupying high-ranking roles, with only 37.1% in top management positions within the civil service and a mere 15% in the private sector, stated by Bexell and Johnson in 2016. So this indicates that men have more opportunity to be in higher position than women in Malaysia. Lastly, as reported by WEF 2017, despite a higher enrollment percentage of women in educational institutions compared to men, there is a lower representation of women in roles such as legislators, senior officials, and managers. So in sector like construction industry, which is predominantly male-dominated, gender stereotypes are prevalent. For instance, there is a widespread belief, as indicated by Lim et al. 2019, that introducing gender diversity in such industry negatively impact firm performance.
A very good day, Abid Sir. My name is Amira and I'll be presenting the problem statement of our research studies. The problem statement is unfair treatment towards women in the workplace in Malaysia that causing the rise of gender inequality issues. This study will be addressing the unfair treatment experienced by women in the workplace in terms of salary, job scope, and promotion for higher positions. To support this problem statement, as what is stated in two articles that I had reviewed, men have high chances to experience promotion opportunities compared to women, even they have the same educational background. That's all for problem statement. I'll pass to the next presenter.
Next is the research question for our study. The first question is, I believe that my company has its own initiative to promote gender equality and women's empowerment in the workplace. From this question, we would like to know whether the respondent's respective company has initiated the promotion of gender equality in their working environment. The next question is, I agree that gender inequality leads to a lack of diversity in leadership roles within the organization. This question aims to know how the gender inequality in leadership roles correlates with diversity in an organization. Then, the next question, I agree that formal policies that promote gender equality and women's empowerment should be implemented strictly by the company. From this question, we would like to discover how implementation of certain policies related to gender equality can affect the empowerment of women in corporate work.
Good day everyone, my name is Prisha and I'll be talking about the objectives. So we have three main objectives. The first one is investigate and identify the underlying factors that contribute to the occurrence of unfair treatment amidst gender inequalities in workplace in terms of salary, management, and promotion for a higher position in the workplace. The second objective is examine the impact of revealing gender-based unfair treatment in the workplace of individuals, emotion, job experience, and the overall work environment. Finally, the third objective is to evaluate existing workplace policies to discern their impact of revelation of unfair treatment amidst gender inequalities. Next, I'll also be presenting about the hypothesis. So the hypothesis is women are most likely to experience gender inequalities in terms of salary management and promotion for higher position in workplace.
Alright, now I'm going to talk about the significance of study. The first one is by analyzing and revealing any differences in salary between male and female employees. The study can support salary equality and add to the greater discussion on equitable compensations and financial empowerment for women. Next, this study can identify any differences between the tasks given to men and women by examining job scopes. Next one is examining promotions can reveal any prejudices that prevent women from advancing into positions of leadership. Lastly, the current policies that are implemented can be evaluated by examining the perception that the working people have towards the policies.
Moving on to the next section, I'll be presenting the research methodology that we implement in our research studies. So in order to collect data, we utilize a quantitative survey method. A questionnaire was prepared using Microsoft Form and distributed online via WhatsApp applications. So the survey included two sections, which is the demographic data, and the second one is the opinions on the topic measured on a 5-point Likert scale. So we implemented a probability sampling method targeting respondents with working experience across various sectors. So the survey was open from November 10 until November 16, 2023, and we initially aiming for 40 respondents. However, we surpasses our target in which we able to collect a valuable insight from 63 respondents. So the survey question were structured around three themes, which is the first one is factors contributing to unfair treatment. The second one is the effect of revealing gender-based unfair treatment. And the third one is the opinion on existing policies addressing gender inequality in the workplace in Malaysia. We also strictly accept respondents who have working experiences only. Thus, we only distribute this survey directly to the respondents who meets the criteria. Besides survey, we also do library research. We have found and reviewed 17 articles on Google Scholar that are able to provide valuable insight to support and validate our studies findings. So this article also serves as a foundation to establish the existence of gender inequality problems even before we conduct our research studies. So that is all for research methodology part. I'll pass to the next presenter.
Hi and Assalamualaikum, my name is Hasha with student ID 2100944 and I'll be presenting the data analysis for this research. So firstly, the survey was conducted among random corporate workers in Malaysia, where we used questionnaire form using Microsoft Form platform, where a total of 63 students were gathered. And there are a few things that we can conclude as demographic data. So firstly, 81% of respondents is Malays. Secondly, 42% of respondents is in the age group between 41 and 50. 48% of respondents have more than 20 years of working experience. And lastly, 34% of respondents' salary are in the range of 4,000 ringgit to 6,000 ringgit. We move on to the analysis question where we have concluded several of it. So firstly, 73% of respondents agree that their organization has its own initiative to promote gender equality and women's empowerment in the workplace. Companies offer specific company policies like flexible working hours, parental leave, and mentorship programs promote gender equality. These corporate efforts are to foster a diverse and inclusive culture, suggesting cultural awareness about this. Next, 53% of respondents agree that certain tasks are stereotypically assigned to men due to perceived physical limitations in women. Personal biases and cultural influence may play a role in endorsing these ideas, where these are driven by societal norms associating physical strength with men. Other than that, limited exposure to women excelling in physically demanding roles could be one of the causes of these stereotypes. Moving on to the third one. 89% of respondents agree that their organization suggests a positive sentiment regarding the availability of leadership opportunities for women in the workplace. Strong agreement on this issue probably results from personal accounts of women achieving higher positions, which offer concrete proof of women's capabilities in the workforce. Next, 51% of respondents agree that a company should not determine the salary considering gender. Employees desire fairness and equality in their workplace environment. Supporting equal pay for equal work is considered a fundamental principle of fairness and gender equality. And next, 35% of respondents disagree with the idea that women face skill development limitations due to stereotypes about emotion-based decision-making. This suggests that a perception that gender biases in management are not significantly hindering women's skill enhancement. Respondents believe that modern workplaces are evolving to value diverse skill sets where we challenge traditional gender stereotypes. Lastly, 87% of respondents agree that gender-based unfair treatment correlates with diminished job satisfaction. They understand that unfair treatment at work can make employees feel bad and affect their happiness. When people face discrimination, they can feel frustrated, disengaged, and less motivated at work. We move on to the next slide, where the first one is 37% of respondents agree that gender inequality leads to a lack of diversity in leadership roles within the organization itself. Respondents likely know that biases and barriers stop women from getting leadership roles, emphasizing the need to address gender inequality. Respondents know that it is the right thing to do, while it makes the organization itself more effective by bringing in diverse talents and perspective for a better leadership. 54% of respondents agree that revealing gender-based wage disparities is effective in reducing workplace gender inequality. Respondents believe that making salaries public highlights the unfair pay gaps, where it can push organizations to fix them. It also indicates that increased awareness could lead to discussions, policy changes, and collective efforts to create fair pay structures. Next, 48% of respondents agree and believe that gender-based wage disparities can reinforce stereotypes and biases in the workplace. I think it's because people agree, because they think closing the gender pay gap is not just good for the economy, but it also helps challenge and break down old stereotypes. Move on to the next one, which is 45% of respondents agree and believe that women in a certain situation agree with the current laws. Respondents think that law fits women's interests in that situation, where it is showing trust in the legislative process. The law responds well to the experiences and expectations of the women it affects. When we move on to the second last one, where 89% of respondents agree that family support programs like parental leaves are essential for organizations. Respondents likely think that these programs are crucial because they recognize the changing needs of today's workplace. Family-friendly policies are seen as contributing to a positive workplace culture by promoting employee well-being, loyalty, and work-life balance. Lastly, 80% of respondents agree that formal policies for gender equality and women's empowerment should be strictly implemented by the company. Respondents likely agree because they see these policies as crucial to addressing gender disparities at work. They recognize that strict implementation creates a structured framework to combat biases and discrimination, ensuring equal opportunities for professional growth. That's it from me. I'll pass it to the next presenter.
According to this report, we can divide the discussion into three parts, which are factors of the unfair treatment, the impact of the gender inequality, and the existing policies of the company. The factors contributing to gender-based unfair treatment include limited representation of women in leadership roles. Although guidelines and organizations promote women's involvement in leadership, the percentage of women leaders remain low and hindering their ability to make an impact. Discrimination, stereotypes, and biases against women in the workplace also contribute to gender-based unfair treatment. The research study reveals that gender biases in the workplace lead to frequent instances of unfair treatment for women in Malaysia, particularly in the area of salary, job scope, and also promotion. Next, unequal access to opportunities and resources based on gender contributes to the gender-based unfair treatment. The study emphasized the need for policies and cultural changes to promote a more inclusive and empowering work environment. Cultural norms and societal expectations regarding the gender roles can contribute to gender-based unfair treatment. This may further contribute to the limited access to opportunities and resources for women in Malaysia.
Alright, for the finding of the impact, it can be concluded that the objective under this theme is achieved as the impact of revealing gender-based unfair treatment in the workplace can be identified based on the responses. The impacts that can be recognized are having low job satisfaction by getting unfair treatment, lack of diversity in leadership roles within the organization, and gender-based wage disparities. These impacts have been supported by other researchers as well. Few of them are Barling et al. From 2001, Langhart et al. From 2005, and Sims, Drazko, and Fitzgerald from 2005. They mentioned that gender-based unfair treatment in the workplace is correlated with decreased satisfaction with one's job and professional relationships, loss of productivity, and increased turnover intentions and behaviors.
Hi, I'm Amira and I'll continue to present the last theme for our research study, which is how the current work policies impact the revelation of unfair treatment. Either this policy effectively eliminate gender inequality or if there's a room for improvement. So the question that fall under this theme are from 17 to 20, probed into respondent perspective on existing policies. And according to the data analysis that we have been explained in the previous part, it indicates that the majority of respondents express their satisfaction with current policies and support the implementation of more measures to promote gender equality in their workplace. And to support our survey result, Subramaniam and Sevaratnam, 2010, note that many workplaces in Malaysia have already implemented various family-friendly policies, including different leave entitlements. So while these policies address family-related challenges, they indirectly contribute to gender equality by acknowledging and elevating obstacles faced by female employees. And there is also another article by Musa and Hussein, 2018, that support our findings, in which it stated that Malaysia government, through the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development, has taken measures to establish policies addressing gender equality in various sectors, including the workplace. And this reflects a proactive stance by the government to tackle gender inequality issues and further emphasizing the commitment to gender equality. Considering the hypothesis of our study, which is women are most likely to experience gender inequality in terms of salary, job scope, and promotion to a higher position in the workplace, we can conclude that our findings align with the hypothesis, as the data supports the notion that gender inequality is a concern across these three dimensions, which are salary, job scope, and promotion in the workplace. That's all from me. Thank you.
To conclude, this research study aimed at explore aim to explore the various difficulties that Malaysian women encounter in the workplace. Simultaneously, it critically evaluates existing workplace policies aimed at addressing gender inequality. The responses also showing low job satisfaction, a lack of diversity in leadership role, and gender-based compensation disparities demonstrated the impact of disclosing gender-based unfair treatment. On top of that, the majority of respondents to the study's inquiry into workplace policies express satisfaction indicates that formal policies are important in advancing gender inequality. Lastly, the research objectives were successfully achieved, supporting the hypothesis that women are more likely to experience gender inequality in terms of salary, job scope, and promotion in the workplace. So the significance of this study lies in its potential to contribute to ongoing discussion on gender inequality and women's empowerment by exposing the challenges faced by women in the workplace. So this research aims to foster awareness, discussion, and positive changes, and ultimately working towards creating a more inclusive and empowerment work environment in Malaysia.